Sorry about my shadow, this is the lighting we have. It's the lighting we have. So, last year I made a Things I Achieved in 2021 video, and as I said in that video, but I will say again, I don't like making goals for the year because it tends to be the case that I'm not very good at setting goals because I have a very poor concept of what is time and how many things can you get done in it. But also, as a second to that, I'm also the kind of person for whom life really does come across very chaotic. Stuff happens. And like, for example, in 2022, as you will see when I start writing out the things that I achieved, if I'd have set a big goal for myself, I probably wouldn't have achieved it because of the chaotic stuff that happened, that I still count on an achievements list. So I'm not saying don't have goals. I'm just saying, like, there's nothing, it might be beneficial even, I was going to say there's nothing wrong with, but do you know what, it might even be beneficial to do something like this, to have a record of your achievements, because then even if you didn't necessarily achieve your goals as intended, you can see exactly what you did achieve over the course of a year. It's kind of like a done list, you know, the opposite of a to-do list, where instead of writing all the tasks you have to do, you write all the tasks you have done so you can see what you've done in a day. I don't know if anyone else has done that. That's something I've done. So the things I achieved in 2021, I'm sorry I'm snuffly as well, it's really cold. Things I achieved in 2021 were survived, published Mary Ellen Breaking the Curse, my novel, which I don't have a copy of on my desk right now for some reason. I read 13 new books. I had 13 new book ideas. I've not written down how many new book ideas I had this year, but anyway, played D&D regularly despite schedule conflicts, got caught up in at least 3 abandoned ideas, made a website with help and a mailing list and emailed them, posted to social media regularly, wrote parts of 6 different books, I'm not reading you what they're called, posted to Nopoodles.wordpress.com where I share my free short stories 50 times, which was 10 times more than 2020. Go me. Got Ayla the kitten and made 31 YouTube videos. I also have been keeping in the back of here, which is just a boring notebook, but it's my planner, a list of all the things I have achieved so far in 2022, as if it's not 23 already, but all the things I've achieved in 2023. No, all the things I've achieved in 2022, and I'm gonna start my new, yes, this is a class exercise book, my new this year planner with that. And you may be thinking, gosh, Will, this is a lot more pages than this, but yeah, I'm just gonna see how it goes. Okay, there we have it. These are my things I achieved in 2022. So, like I said, there's one that really made a massive amount of scrambling of plans, which was I moved house and technically countries. I finished and prepared Mary Arlan Finding the Heir for publishing, which is the sequel to my book that I brought out in 2021. It's coming out in March of this year, so 2023, March the 14th. You can pre-order it now if you are so inclined. All of the links you need will be listed in the description box below. I made 22 YouTube videos, which is approximately one every other week, which was exactly what the plan was this last year gone, because I wanted to make YouTube videos, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to make like a whole fuck ton of them. Every week was too much for me this year, and so it's not happened. Celebrated 1 year of Ayla. I should really put her features onto her face because she's got these beautiful little green eyes and a really cute little pink nose, tiny face, and a little smudge on her nose. We've had her for a whole year and a half. No, she is so big and precious, and she's looking at me. I uploaded 48 posts to nopoodles.wordpress.com. This is supposed to be a pen because it's my logo. The maths on this doesn't work out because this is data taken from my wrap-up for 2022 post, which doesn't include all of them, including the fact that it doesn't include my wrap-up for 2022 post. But 17 of those were fantasy, plus 10 Sage and Leo parts, so I'm only counting Sage and Leo once. In the 17 fantasy because it's one long story, but because it was broken up over 10 parts, it's 10. 5 science fiction stories, 4 other genres of story, and 7 non-story posts. I started D&D again after an unintended break, so you know that thing about how you can play D&D for a while, but then you have the schedule conflict after schedule conflict after schedule conflict, and next thing you know, it's been forever since you last played D&D. We had that, but we've picked it up again, or at least we tried. We played a couple in the museum thing, which if you follow me on Instagram, you'll be seeing the quotes from that already coming up. I attended a craft fair as a seller. I sold 4 books, one of which was in a book bundle, which was really cool. Celebrated 1 year of Porthos, who you might be able to hear snoring in the background. We've had him for a whole year now. His gotcha day is the 6th of December. So, yeah. Which is why he didn't come to YouTube until January. But we had him in December. I posted regularly to social media. You'll notice that there is no numbers here. I don't feel the need to count how many times I posted to social media, partially because that would be really painstaking, and partially because I'm just not interested in doing it. If I post pretty much every day, I'm happy, and I posted pretty much every day. I got caught up in a bunch of ideas that never came to fruition. I always think that's a really good thing to celebrate because it's that like whimsical and excitable and idea creating thing, and I think that a lot of the time people get annoyed at themselves. Like I have in the past got annoyed at myself for getting caught up in ideas that never come to fruition, but I think actually it's really great to have got caught up in these ideas because it just means that I'm having fun and being creative. And then finally I wrote parts of 12 different books, and as you can see I've made myself little guidelines for writing their working titles in, but I don't want to share those working titles because some of them are the actual final titles. Now the 12 books is actually just kind of a base conceptual. I looked into my Google Docs and saw I had written parts of in Google Docs over the last year. And I think that was a great way of doing it because I do write a lot on Google Docs when I'm on the go or when I have an idea in an inappropriate place, like when I'm cooking dinner or when I'm in bed or when I'm walking the dog or whatever. But that's not where I write most of my stuff. But anyway, yeah, so that's 12 books, including this one, of course. But also including most of the ones from my How Many Works in Progress video, which you can check out if you so desire to find out more about my works in progress. But yeah, 12 different parts of 12 different books, which is not to say that any of them are anywhere near publication necessarily, although this one obviously is, Mary Ellen Finding the Heir, and also one other one is pretty close. It's pretty close. It's relatively close. So yeah, I encourage you to look at the things that you have achieved in your 2022 and keep a record of them, because if nothing else, it is a reminder of where you were at the start of the year, like how you got through the year and why you're doing okay. Like, my list from 2020 was very different. Hang on, I've got it right here. My list from 2020, things I achieved in 2020. God, where did I put it? Is only 1 page long. And it's posted to WordPress 40 times. Wrote 35,000 words for NaNoWriMo. Figured out a big plot problem. Completed big edits. Found a house. Successfully moved countries. God, why do I move countries every other year? Survived a pandemic, protests, etc. Made 1 whole YouTube video. Started playing D&D. And like, those were the things I celebrated in 2020. And like, as you can see, comparatively, there's been a lot of changes over the years. Like, that was 40 nopoodles.wordpress.com posts, and then the next year I did 50 something, and now it's down to 48. And like, I could beat myself up about that. I could be like, oh, I didn't do as many as I did in 2021, but there's a couple of different reasons for that, including the fact that I moved house and country, but also including the fact that like, my life just looks different in 2022 than it did in 2021, and also the calendar is different in 2022 than it is in 2021. And that sounds like such a cop-out, but I write 1 short story every single week for Nopoodles.wordpress.com, and I post them on Thursdays. So depending on how the calendar falls, I take a 2-week break, a 1 to 2 week break in July for my wedding anniversary, and I take a 1 to 2 week a 2-week break in December from my birthday to Hogmanay. And depending on how the weeks fall, that can gut me of Thursdays, or it can add extra Thursdays, which is obviously going to change how many times I post to nopoodles.wordpress.com, because I pretty much only post on a Thursday unless it's a specific event that I want to post something for. Based on this, do I have any goals for the year? Provisional goals. There we go. Provisional goals for 2023. First time I've made goals, but I've done 3 times of my achievements only. So we're going to have these goals, and they're very gentle goals. Post a short story approximately every Thursday. Make a YouTube video approximately every other week. Publish Mary Ellen Finding the Heir. Ready my first IPA novel for publication. More info to come. Keep posting to social media regularly. Get caught up in ideas. Keep writing books. Keep going. Those are my goals. They may sound hokey to some people, you know, those people who like really defined goals, and I know that people are going to say, like, these are not necessarily goals that you can smart target about. Like, keep writing books is hardly a smart target goal, but that's kind of the point. It's not about hitting a specific target, it's about continuing to work on something. Like, a New Year's resolution is all well and good, but unless you've got a plan to put it in place, it's not going to work. Like, I have plans for all of these different things. Ready the first IPA book for publishing means finish writing the draft I've got, send it out to beta readers, see if it's ready for publishing, and if it's not, make it ready for publishing. And these are things that I won't know how ready it is until I've finished the draft that I'm on of it. And that's okay. So, yeah. I have achieved a lot in 2022. I am very proud of myself. It's not necessarily everything I wanted to achieve. Like, I absolutely wanted to be able to publish a book in 2022, but it just didn't happen because, well, other stuff happened and I got sick in March. For like the entirety of March of 2022. It was awful. I do not recommend it. But yeah, like, I did a bunch of cool stuff and I'm proud of myself. And these goals that I've got for 2023, I mean, honestly, I don't see a world in which these aren't going to happen, because these are all things that I always try and do the first two. This one's already on the way. This is the main book that I'm writing this year. This is something that I have been trying again for a long time. Getting caught up in ideas is a great goal because it gives me that freedom to try stuff, and like I can start counting how many ideas I've got caught up in, and then keep writing books. Again, it's a soft goal, but it is a goal that is important to me. It's something that I want so desperately to do. I never want to stop writing books. So yeah, there we go then. I hope you enjoyed this video. Share with me, if you want, your achievements for 2022 in the description box below. I highly recommend doing this, by the way, the achievements thing, because I just think it's a great way to remind yourself that what you have done has value, even if it wasn't necessarily your goals. Like, when I do this next year, because I've got a list of goals, I can have a little note that says, yes, did achieve goal, and then also achieved other stuff. Like, yeah. Okay, so I will see you in... Oh, if you want to find me and my books all over the internet, the links that you need are in the description box below. So you can find my social media and my short stories and my books, well, more specifically these ones, but you know, all the links you need are in the description box below, right next to the like and subscribe buttons if you feel like sticking around. There's also a link to my Ko-fi account if you feel like supporting the channel. And I will see you in 2 weeks' time when we are doing something else and you'll actually get to see my face again. Bye.